no passare, no. I was about to go off on another Ophelia rant, but nobody said that. Remember in that Ophelia chick? If you haven't listened to that, spare yourself listening to me now. I mean, if I were going to speak about Ophelia, I'm going to spare myself speaking about Ophelia because I just don't understand that chick. Women. I mean, I'm not saying that women are inferior to men, nor do I say that they're superior. I'm just saying that in matters of that four-letter word, four-letter word that ends in E. Oh my God. E for escape. Oh no! It's happening again. I'm falling. escape. That's why it's the last letter. So the and, yeah, actually, I'm gonna have to stop playing. It's coming back. The old lateral epicondylitis, tennis elbow. Not that I have tennis elbow per se, but the same basic area. It's where the tendons that control the hand, the wrist, and the fingers attached. A bunch of them, not all of them. A bunch of them. The ones that, well, you can feel them. You don't have to take my word for it. Put your hand here. There's your elbow here. Huh? A little bit under the elbow. Outside. Then wiggle your fingers. And then you will feel where all those tendons are attached. Also make your hand go up and down like this. You'll find, there's attachment there too. They're not exactly the same. They're different. You feel the different muscles. Or the tendons, which are the long stringy things that go between the muscle belly, which can be pretty, especially in a bodybuilder, the muscle belly is, well, that's the part that contracts. And the more massive it is, the stronger the contraction can be. And then there's the long tendons, which don't contract at some point. There's probably a period where it's a mix of muscle and tendon. A certain length of the muscle moves from being pure muscle belly, or whatever it's called, to the tendon, which really is more just of a really super strong rubber band. And so strong that it really doesn't stretch much, maybe a little bit, but not a lot. It's meant more to be able to, really hold on tight than to be able to stretch out. Unlike the muscle belly wants you to be able to, say, straighten your arm all the way out. So it needs to have enough room to let it just stretch all the way out, and then it contracting, and it contracts all the way until there's no more room for it to contract, or the joint itself doesn't let it happen anymore. need to take it easy, but not stop. Something that a lot of people make this mistake. They get an injury, especially like a not necessarily a really serious one. I mean, when you break a bone or you tear a ligament or a tendon, oh my gosh. Thought of tearing, a total rupture of your like Achilles tendon, oh my gosh. I don't like to think about such a thing, because that's like really, tight, and if it got severed completely, oh, it gives me the willies to think about it. I've had a few painful things happen in my life, and gee, isn't it nice to know that probably sometime in my life I'll have it happen again? Well, that's not very exciting. Let's change the wording a little bit, or the order of the words. Say, isn't it nice that I have already experienced pain and had also experienced recovery from pain and freedom of pain and the pure enjoyment of not being in excruciating pain anymore. That's a very nice feeling. It makes you, happy just to not be in excruciating pain. Maybe you're just uncomfortable now, maybe it's very annoying. But, something like annoying or uncomfortable, the more you live with annoying things that are not, they're just annoying, they're not seriously problematic, the more you learn to stop being annoyed. Okay, it's annoying. So that for a wreck, what? Am I that important in the world that things should stop being annoying for me? Of course, that's a stupid way of saying it. Anyway, because I do need to stretch. Ooh, my scabalabot. Oh, my fascabalabodebra. And they say, oh, tell us, what do they say, boss? They say, tell us. They say, come on, boss, go scream it out. I'm getting there, okay? I'm just relax, okay? I think I forgot. exactly 30 minutes, unless it's not exactly at 30 minutes, but that's, it could be at exactly 30 minutes. Don't worry about it, but it's always a good place to start. Okay, a word to the wise. If you want to find out what's going on, that what's really going on, that most people never pay enough attention to. You see, you've just stumbled upon one of those, I don't know how we might call it, one of the keys, the keys to the Paratopian manor. Is that spelled M-A-N-O-R or M-A-N-N-E-R? I think we're really talking, well, if we're talking about the former, we're talking about figuratively, because there ain't no actual manor, a manor house or nothing. I mean, that's not Paratopia. Paratopia is a state of mind, which anybody can kind of feel the vibe of and within themselves, and just be part of it. You don't even have to talk about joining. I mean, you could say join, come on, join the fun that way, but there ain't no membership department in Paratopia. We don't decide who we let in, how much money they've got to give us, what kind of oath they must swear, They want to get into the 23rd level of Kablooby and Bongagi, then they can go somewhere else. Because we parators, as I was saying before, a lot of us scratch whatever the frick I was about to say. I used to worry all the time about finishing my thoughts so that you wouldn't think I was so stoned that I forgot what I was talking about. When I was younger, I had a lot of that. I would completely forget what I was talking about. But the reality is, the reason I was forgetting was only partly due to the intake of tetrahydrocannabinol through the combustion of a plant substance. Known to mankind for thousands of years throughout the world as something that works for many people. Not for everybody. But in general, doesn't in and of itself do the kind of damage that alcohol does, heroin, nicotine, marijuana. It's been known for a very long time. Well, it's certainly to be safer than this stuff. I'm kind of lucky about this stuff because I really like the taste of it, especially this very high proof 101 proof bourbon. It's a little rot gut. It's fine. If I drank enough of this to get drunk, I'd water it down, but I don't water it down. I drink it straight. There's no way I can drink enough of this to get drunk. Maybe feel a little relaxed or something. But throughout a day, I'll drink between 1 and 2 ounces of this all day long. And I drink it all day. I mean, I frequently, first thing I do when I wake up. But it's just a sip. It really is truly not enough to get drunk on. It's very intense. And it's like an experience. It is. I mean, alcohol has a neurological effect. A lot of it will affect your central nervous system. Slow you down. Slow your speech. Not a good idea to drive. a tiny amount still has a neurological effect. You taste it as a strong taste. It brings out all sorts of flavors. All these liquor that have a flavor that just without the alcohol, it just wouldn't have that flavor. And not only so alcohol, I'm going off on this thing. I like alcohol. And I think what I started out to say and I didn't finish was that my body does not like large enough amounts of alcohol to get me drunk. I enjoy the feeling of being drunk, except I get sick so easily. I mean, or not necessarily throwing up, but headache. So that's why alcohol. No, I'm lucky that way. I know many people who their body says, "Yeah, give me more, baby, give me more," and that's a trap. And many people's lives are ruined by this shit, you know. Whoa! Yeah, really, this is a small amount, but I let it go all around my mouth, that swish it around, taste different tastes, because it's very, stimulating to the nervous system. The part of not in large quantities, it's actually depressing to the overall central nervous system. Taste buds, it's very excitatory. It really gets you going. Go, wow, whatever flavor it is, it's boom, that much stronger. I love to drink strong liquor with, especially things like port wine or better quality than this. This is kind of crappy. I'm really better off paying twice as much for the good stuff. This is kind of rot gut. But again, I'm not so worried about. That doesn't bother me too much because it makes me not want to drink too much. Anyway, you could call me Will if you'd like. You could call me anything else. Won't if you want. I won't bow down before you. I'm sorry. That's all. So if you want me to bow down before you, you'll have to call me Won't, not Will. Which is not to say Oh, I'm sorry, I was going to say something lewd, and I decided, not now. Maybe another time. They're fun. I mean, sexual jokes are fun. I like them. I have plenty. It's not so much I have jokes in my head. It's that I allow these associated thoughts to come up, and they go all over the place, and they can be pretty wacky. I like that. I find it funny. And sexual kind of things, I mean, just talking about Dracula's wives, telling them the wives all want to drink Renfield's blood. Renfield is, you know what? I'm getting repetitive. Heaven forbid, he's getting repetitive. No, actually, I'm freeing myself from thinking, just because I opened my mouth, I've got to keep talking about frickin' Renfield. I spent 20 minutes or something in the last thing talking about the whole story of Dracula, almost. Well, the story that I find interesting. Everything else is whatever, baby. Boo. actually drinking a little. When I actually, to be honest, no, I better be honest in front of you since I'm doing it right in front of you. You're saying, that guy's lying. He's not drinking just the tiniest sips. And the reality is, when I'm doing these long, hour-long shows, it kind of, it's that stimulation in my mouth that keeps me going. But I have a feeling I'm drinking enough. I probably may be drinking instead of the whole day drinking between 1 and 2 ounces. Maybe this evening I'll drink 1 ounce to 2 ounces, maybe. Which for me is a lot. And I'll keep remembering to drink water, which is a lot better for me. And I actually have a can. Do I have any left over? Oh, yeah. Maybe I should put it back in the cooler, though. This is good stuff. Coconut water. Unsweetened. There's plenty of sugar in it, even though it's unsweetened. It's not. Plenty. Not overnight. Not 24 grams in the whole can. Fair amount, but it's just coconut water. It's the sugar in the coconut water. Better than refined sugar, I think. I don't know. Get a big thing of Arizona iced tea, and you drink the whole thing. It's like 72 grams of sugar. One drink. Not good. Not good. It's not just because it makes you fat. Specifically because it makes your liver fat that you don't want. A fatty liver becomes diabetic. Fatty liver is a diabetic liver. Insulin, which is required it mixes with sugar in your blood. The sugar that's sent throughout your body, along with other nutrients and oxygen, of course, but all sorts of other nutrients from your food. Sugar is in your blood. Doesn't have any use in your blood. Just like a moving van full of stuff doesn't have any use. I mean, the stuff is not going to be used while the truck is on the highway. All the stuff that's in the truck, none of it's worth anything unless it gets to a place and gets unpacked. I've had to work hard in my family, my household, to insist that we do not move boxes to a new location or put them in storage that we moved into our house. In other words, stuff that we haven't even thought about using ever since we moved in 1998. With the exception of items that have purely sentimental value. I mean, they have sentimental value. It doesn't mean they only... Yeah, that's what you care about. Because the value of a thing you could possibly use someday, but you haven't used in 10 years. Think about people who have that hoarding thing going on. They can't get rid of the words on a page of newspaper. Gotta save it. You never know. Well, you might want to read the newspaper from July 2nd, 1992. Well, I gotta keep it. It's a rough thing. People really, their lives become so cluttered. They're doing that to cover up something, to keep themselves from thinking about stuff that, well, they probably should think about and just get over it. But they're not. They don't believe that they can. They've been convinced by the naysayers in their lives. All these people who tell you when you're young, oh, if you just tried harder, you could do okay, but since you don't, you're a blockhead. Or you're an idiot. Maybe if we tell you you're an idiot enough, you'll smarten up. That's what's his name. You've seen that one before. That's Max Schreck pushing Catwoman out there. It's like, you thought I was gonna push you out, right? Like, boom, like that. Oh boy. Is it okay if I repeat on another day? I mean, I said it 3 times in one day, and that was it. It's okay. Can I do it? I can say it 3 times in every 24-hour period at this point, although that's subject to revision. Okay, good. Okay, so I have 2 more times I can say it. I don't know if you really want me to. I don't know if I want to say it 2 more times. It's just nice to know what I'm allowed to do, It's so good to know what I'm allowed to do. According to those who know better than I do about what's good for me. Those people. So. She says. It was a friend of mine, Meggie Pooh. She's quite a gal, I'll tell you. I mean, friend is kind of a... I like her. She's just kind of waka, Art, not pussy! Beating her breast. Art, not pussy! I know. I'm sorry, Meggie Pooh. I actually fell in love with you when you said that. She's a little bit kapoopy. She doesn't believe in herself. I meet a lot of people. And every day I meet people. And, well, you know what I've come to the conclusion about? I believe that that society, and societies in general, but let's not worry about all sorts of previous ones, unless they can be informative somehow. Sometimes they can. I mean, you think of how did the Nazis take over what was one of the most sophisticated and reasonably tolerant countries. And how did he bring it to the abyss? Can it happen again? Well, of course it can happen again. It's happened before, lots of times before. Hitler just happened to bring it to a higher... Well, he just happened to do it at a time when technology... The progress in technology was so far outstripping humans' ability to sort things out and to know the difference between how to use it for good and how to use it for ill. And so there were a bunch of people who really wanted to use it for ill. There still are a bunch of people. And it's really, are we going to live in a world War III is going to be a fucking nasty piece of shit. It's going to be terrible. Biological warfare. Cyber warfare, so economies being ruined and, chaos. Yeah, and then there's the anthrax outbreak. Or smallpox. Oh my God. Thing about smallpox. I was reading up a lot about this after that. After 9/11. You youngins won't remember this, but okay. So 9/11 happened, and our wonderful leader Tush 2 decided, wouldn't it be a good idea to make up for the fact that my father's a wimp? I could show the whole Tush family that I am really tough, and we'll take care of what Dad didn't take care of, Yeah. So anyway, during that time, while he was setting all that stuff up, ooh, Iraq, it's a good thing the world of New York is a shithole anyway, And now we can go and get Iraq, and we can get the oil in Iraq, and goody. And Halliburton can make lots of money, my buddy. What's his name? Chick Daney. That white ringer. He was my price president. Anyway, what was I saying? I'm getting very negative. I'm sorry. I'm just... skapaka. I'm not really sorry. I'm just saying. I don't give a flying for Hoogle whether you get offended by me. Okay? I know. Just fuck you. Really. And if you're in the mood, why not? We don't have to only be the negative here. That's what I never finished my sentence before. We parroters, if we have a creed, it's that we believe in positiveness. That if we can work and practice taking whatever happens and then finding what's positive for ourselves as well as for others. Whatever comes our way, it's a way to see it positively. And that by doing so we have experienced it. Those of us who have really taken it in. And we're actually, I say parroters. I'm not talking about people who call themselves parroters. I'm talking about all the other people who've already died and who've done it. And other people who are doing it now who they wouldn't call themselves parroters. They'd call themselves Buddhists or Christians